Welcome to the Phenomenal Woman Club, the podcast where you'll hear women being unapologetically phenomenal every episode. And I'm Jordan, your host and fellow traveller on this journey of self-discovery, growth, and empowerment. As a social worker and a life coach for women, I've spent years working with phenomenal women from all walks of life, learning firsthand the power of shared experiences and collective wisdom. I created this podcast because I believe every woman has a unique story to tell. And through those stories, we can inspire, uplift, and empower one another. You can expect to hear from everyday women who faced obstacles, found their strength, and are living their truth. And we'll also share practical advice and tools for you to embrace your own phenomenal journey. Whether you're seeking motivation, connection, or simply a reminder of your own strength, this is the place for you. So grab a coffee, grab a tea, get comfortable, and let's get started. But before we get started, you guys know what you need to do. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all of my socials, but mainly Instagram and TikTok at the PW Club, all one word, and you'll be updated with information about the new episodes, clips and highlights from each episode, and any exciting news that comes out from the podcast, you will be informed. So go ahead, links in the bio, share the podcast with anybody who you think will benefit from it, and let's jump right in. All right, so you guys know that it is one of my favorite things to do to discuss a Am I the Arsehole episode, because they're always crazy stories and you guys know that I love them so much. So every episode I bring you on and we'll just discuss it. We'll try to dive into like what's gone on in the real life stories and we'll break it down. I'll read the scenario and we'll discuss it. So let's get into it. And this week I found one which I thought was really interesting. Not like they're not all interesting, but I was really like, this is tough. And I reckon it's new as well. And I was thinking it's probably going to get a lot of attention because it's quite an interesting one. But let's see. Let's get into it. Okay, so this week it's called, Am I the Arsehole for uninviting 25 family members to my wedding 6 weeks to showtime? Okay. I have had this Halloween wedding planned for 2 years. Oh my God. Do you know what? I love a themed wedding. Like I absolutely do, but I'm not sure how I feel about a Halloween themed one, but let me not judge. Fine. I have had this Halloween wedding planned for 2 years. The venue I wanted has a wait list. All of a sudden, my mum and grandma decided the wedding was satanic and want me to make last minute changes. Thing is, what I need to know in order to understand who's right and wrong here is how long this wedding has been planned for. Because if it's been like 2 years in the planning, everyone's known it's a Halloween wedding theme, you can't at the last minute then say that you're upset with the theme. Like we know you knew what the theme was. But anyway, I told my mum and grandma a firm no. I love a woman that has boundaries. It's a no. The wedding is a Halloween theme and that's it. I told my mum and grandma a firm no. 2 years my family has known about this, and because I told them, 2 years my family has known about this, and because I have told them, they know half my mum's side thought they would be cute and say they aren't coming in a random ass power struggle. So already the family are wrong. If you had an issue with the fact that the Halloween theme was the Halloween theme, you should have told her 2 years ago. I told them fine and cancelled everyone's invitations who complained or backed my mum and grandma on this. Do you know what? I will stand by the fact that weddings and funerals are the wildest things ever, because it is a complete power play from the beginning. It's a power play from the groom's side, from the bride's side, it's just a power play. The families get involved. It becomes a bit of a tussle between the families. And it's even worse when it's the bride and the bride's family in a tussle, because now everyone's vying for power, which is what's happened here. So I told them fine and cancelled everyone's invitations who complained or backed my mum and grandma on this. That's a massive power play. One of my sisters acted like she stepped out of bridesmaid duty, so I replaced her. It was about 25 people that decided to act stupid at less than six at less than a 6 week mark. So I sent out uninvited invitations. Hold on. I have never known anyone to send out uninvitations. What? It was about 25 people that decided to act stupid at less than a 6 week mark. So I sent out uninvited invitations. You have to be pissed to send an uninvitation. You have to be so pissed to send an uninvitation. That's wild. And I sent out new QR codes for those attending, and the venue will check in by only those to let people in. Oh, so she's also made it more. This person's not the arsehole. I'm sorry. I actually love this level of petty. New QR codes. And what a great idea as well for a wedding. That your guests have a QR code to get in, and no QR code, no entry. I always love it when people have security at their weddings and stuff, because people do actually act mad. So I actually love this idea. I do. But the uninvitations is a new level for me. My aunt, who was one of the uninvited, told me people are allowed to disagree with me, and that doesn't mean that I can pull an invitation from a wedding that they have made plans to attend. Now, the issue with that is that you've made plans to attend it, but you've also complained about it. If you had made plans to attend, then you shouldn't have even bothered to complain. You can't complain and attend. So I'm still with the bride at this point. I'm still on the bride's side, not the arsehole. I told my aunt they had 2 years for complaints. See, that's what I said. I'm team bride. I told my aunt they had 2 years for complaints, but saying you are not going at 6 weeks before my wedding is... And she swears because she's very upset. And everyone is effing around and found out I will not be bullied by my family members over this. Clearly, this bride has set boundaries and has set the tone for this wedding. And I love a boundaried queen. She said, this is the theme of the wedding. It's Halloween theme for whatever reason that is. Maybe that's special for her and the groom. I'm assuming it's the groom. Maybe it's special for her and the partner. She told them 2 years ago, and 6 weeks before the wedding, the family are saying no and complaining. That's awful. And you also know weddings are so much drama and stress to plan. So 6 weeks before the wedding, most organized people have got it down. Everything's sent out. The cake is sorted, probably in a Halloween theme. The venue, the decorators, the outfits, everything is pretty much sorted by the 8 week, 6 week, mark. So for you to then come to this bride and complain about the theme that you've known for the 2 years before, yeah, that's wild. In my opinion, she's not the arsehole. I'm taking a few notes because I really like the idea of the QR code for security. That's great. And the fact she sent uninvitations is the best thing I've heard all day. I am definitely team bride. I am team setting boundaries. I am team uninviting people to events that they're going to complain about, because that has an impact on the whole day and has an impact on the mood of the day. I am team having the day that you want, making sure that the event that you... And I don't know who's paying for this wedding. I'm assuming the bride is. I am team enjoying the event that you've paid for to the fullest. And if that means you have to uninvite certain family members because they're going to come and be complaining on the day, or that they're giving you the side eye or they're throwing shade, then so be it. Definitely not the arsehole. I really want to know how this wedding goes. I hope that this has only gone up 5 days ago. If you're listening to this now, it's only gone up 5 days ago. I see a lot of the comments. I'll read some of them. The first one says, not the arsehole, sounds like a blast. Which bride are you dressing as? And she replies that she's dressing as a light blue corpse bride dress, and then I'm going to have light blue hair. So clearly this is a very, very, very big theme for her. this is serious for her. It's not like she's gonna have like a little like black cake, or there's gonna be a little, no, she's dressing as a corpse bride. You can't complain about that 6 weeks before. Someone else says that she grew her spine grew three sizes that day. Tell your aunt that you only want people at your wedding who fully support you and your new spouse. Exactly, not the asshole. Somebody else says, not the asshole. Mum and grandma decided to intentionally blow up your wedding. Then they rallied their little army to put pressure on you. I will wager a bet this isn't the first time you've had a run-in with them over them trying to control your life. Another one says, not the asshole. They already said they're not coming. So why are they complaining now? And you know what? I'm with them. 100% with them. So, in my view, definitely not the asshole. So each week I highlight a phenomenal woman who is making an impact on the community, breaking barriers, or inspiring others. This week will be no different. We are going to talk about the Olympic boxing champion, Imane Khalif. I really hope I'm getting her name right. I was looking to see, I hope it's not Iman with an E, but anyway, Imane Khalif, come to the front of the congregation. You are the phenomenal women of this week. Do you guys remember all of the woo-ha, the uproar during this summer's Olympics when Imane, I think it was even like in the qualification rounds, she's an Algerian boxer. She knocked out did she even knock, she won. Let's just say she won her boxing match against the Italian boxer, and then a few, like within like a minute, like 46 seconds, knocked the Italian one out. One obviously moved on with her day, but that same day or the following day, the Italian boxer had a press conference and said and complained about being hit too hard. Yeah, this is who we're talking about. Firstly, that story was crazy because you're a boxer. Don't you anticipate that you're going to be hit hard? Anyway, that's not even my own business. But then came the insinuation that Imane Khalif was a man. And that's where all the uproar came from. So what ensued after this round, and what was also awful, is that Imane Khalif is still having to box because she's making it through the rounds of the Olympics. She's having to box with all this drama around her, swirling around that she is transgender, that she was born a man, that she has XY chromosomes, that she shouldn't be competing anyway. To the point where Trump commented on it, the story, J.K. Rowling commented on the story. It was huge on every social media platform. The news were talking about it. I think the Olympic Committee put out a statement. It was huge. There was so much going on. There was even interviews. This is what really annoyed me. There were interviews of her family. So somebody went and interviewed her family, and her dad did an interview where he was showing the whoever it was pictures of her as a little girl, and I just thought, this is awful. You're taking just because she boxed well, she knocked someone down in 46 seconds. Now her gender's being questioned when there had been questions in the past, but there was no merit to it. Anyway, she carried on. She won the gold medal. And that's what you do in the face of pressure. Imane said, yeah, all right, and continued to box every round, and she won. And the Italian boxer apologized after it was proven that she's not transgender, that she's not intersex, that she doesn't have I'm not sure if she has higher testosterone, but sometimes women do have higher testosterone. Let's look at like PCOS and other conditions like that. But she wasn't any of the things she had been labeled as, because an Italian boxer got knocked out and cried and got upset. So she's a phenomenal woman because she powered through. She didn't let pressure, take her down. She literally has gone on to sue. I'm sure she is now suing J.K. Rowling, and she's suing somebody else who, again, for defamation, because they were on social media just chatting about her. And since she has put the lawsuit out, let me just check. Since she's put the lawsuit out, everyone's gone very quiet. Haven't heard much from JK. Haven't heard much about Imane Khalif. Everyone has her name very firmly out of their mouths, which I love and which is so good for her. And the reason why I'm nominating her as a phenomenal woman for this week's episode is because I see her in Vogue at the let me just check, at Milan Fashion Week, at the Bottega Veneta Front Row, in her yellow, in her orange, looking lovely. Swagger. One thing I'll say about Imane Khalif, this woman has swag. I was like, oh, she looks great. She looks comfortable. She's there with the stars. Look, this Vogue article, so I'm reading from British Vogue, talks about the Olympic boxing champion from Algeria was joined by Kendall Jenner, was joined by Julianne Moore. She's on the front row, just living her best life. Whereas those who wrongly mislabeled, I don't even know where the Italian boxer is. Maybe she's still crying somewhere. Those who labeled her transgender, those who labeled her a man, those who questioned her gender, those who made this whole Olympics really hard for her, are not at the front row of the Bottega Veneta fashion show. And I love to see it. So this week's, I'll just even read a bit more. So Khalifa, Imane Khalif, her first foray into high fashion, the gold medalist she wore a Bottega Veneta Autumn-Winter 2024 collection, donning a mustard button-up shacket. What's a shacket? Anyway, mustard button-up shacket and black leather trousers. She looks great. I hope Imane gets everything coming her way. I hope that all the people who have questioned her remain silent, and I hope she comes back for the next Olympics and wins another gold. She is most definitely this week's phenomenal woman. If you would like to nominate a phenomenal woman for this section of the podcast, because I love to hear all about them, I love to read the stories, I love to know what's going on, you can drop me an email to what email address should I give you? Jordan at thepwclub.com, or tag or mention them in a comment below on my IG or TikTok pages, and I will have a look, because I am always looking for a phenomenal woman to highlight in these episodes. So let me know. Now it's time for our phenomenal toolbox, where I share some incredible resources to help you feel more empowered on both your personal and professional life and your professional and personal journey. Last week, we had some really cool resources shared by our guest, Lee Saran Edwards. I hope you guys checked out some of her stuff, her websites, which will be in the link on the episode before. And I like to share kind of any books that I'm reading, any podcasts that come up, any articles that I see, just to have in our toolbox so that you can stay uplifted. I've got you guys covered on that. But this week, actually, I was given a book recommendation. Let me just say, you guys who follow me on TikTok are actually the best. I have the comments that I receive, the comments on my videos are so jokes. Like, they are absolutely hilarious. And I got a comment from one of you great followers that I have, which said that I needed to read this book. So I haven't read it yet. This is the recommendation that I've received, and I'm passing it on to you guys because I think it's going to be a good one. It's called Single on Purpose, Find Yourself, and it's by John Kim. So I'll just read that again. It's Single on Purpose, Find Yourself by John Kim. And the video that this comment was left on was a video about that I made about finding your dream life, and that you have to be really intentional about living your dream life. And so somebody's commented and said, oh, you should definitely read Single on Purpose by John Kim, because it's a great book and it's on theme for what I was talking about in that TikTok. So that is going to be my recommendation for you guys. I really hope it's good. I'm gonna purchase it. I think I'm actually gonna read this, like buy the book rather than the audiobook. I'm gonna read this, and it'll be great if you guys can comment on if you guys pick up the book too. Comment on TikTok. Let me know what you think of it. And message the user who recommended it and let them know how you think about it, because yeah, I love a recommendation. And if you guys want to just like send me recommendations all the time, I am so up for that, because yeah, you can't go wrong with a good book, can you, really? So yeah, that is, I'll just repeat that again: Single on Purpose by John Kim. And I'm looking at the reviews, like there's loads of reviews. Really, it seems like it's a really well-known, popular book. I've never heard of it before, so it definitely will be a book that I jump into as soon as I can. I keep starting books and like not finishing them. I've got about three on the go, because I'm also still reading Brené Brown, Dare Greatly, but I've read that one before, so I'm gonna add this one in and I'm just gonna get through it. Also, guys, just this is even a little side note, but my ebook's coming out soon, so just keep an eye on that. I'm having it edited right now. Very exciting stuff. But yeah, keep an eye on that. So that is it for this week's episode of the Phenomenal Woman Club. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming back. You guys already know the drill. Like, be sure to subscribe. Follow me on TikTok at the Phenomenal Woman Club. Follow me on Instagram at the Phenomenal Woman Club. Leave a review. Rate the episodes. If you think this episode is for someone else's ears, so somebody else that you know needs to hear it, share it with them. Send it over to them. Let them know maybe about the book that I recommended. Let them know about who I'm recommending as a phenomenal woman. If you have a phenomenal woman who you want to nominate for an episode, send me an email, DM me, and I will have a look and see what I can do about that nomination. It's always exciting to kind of grow the community, and just really kind of highlight people doing great things for the community. So drop me a DM. The same with the Am I the Asshole scenarios. They are my favorite. But if you have a dilemma that you think you want to be discussed and not anonymously, maybe it's about you, maybe it's about somebody you know, I don't mind. Drop me an email again at Jordan@the PW Club or at info@the PW Club. I don't mind. I monitor both inboxes. Share, like, subscribe, do all of that. And I will see you next week for more conversations that empower and stories that inspire. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.